Hello and welcome back to From a Head Teacher's Perspective with me, Paul Urry. In today's podcast, I would like to look at building a school that belongs, why community is our greatest resource. You can tell a lot about a school by its entrance, not the Ofsted poster or the policy displays, but the feeling you get when you step inside. Is there laughter? Do the corridors hum with purpose? Do parents linger a little longer after drop-off, sharing news, stories, a cup of tea? Are the displays filled with children's work and their voices? At St Stephen's, we've worked hard to become more than a school on a street. We're part of the street, part of the homes, part of the lives. We are a school rooted in its community, and that is no accident. It's a deliberate, thoughtful, and sometimes messy journey, but one that we believe is worth every ounce of effort. Because children flourish when they belong, and belonging starts not in a policy, but in people. Let me take you to West Bowling in Bradford, an area full of complexity, contradiction, and deep resilience. You'll find tight streets of low-cost housing, multiple languages spoken on every corner, families who've lived here for generations, and others just arriving to seek sanctuary. You'll also find St Stephen's, a Church of England primary school that educates, supports, and learns alongside its community. And when I say alongside, I mean it. Our vision, nurture, grow, flourish, isn't just wall art. It's a commitment to making our school the hub of the community life. We don't just want to know our families, we want to walk with them. From English classes for newly arrived parents to coffee mornings where we hear stories of strength and sorrow. From school-led food banks and clothing support to restorative practice in the playground. From the child who reads aloud for the first time and to the parent who says, I finally feel heard. This is what it means to build a school with your community, not just for it. Lots of schools talk about community engagement, but let's be honest, sometimes it's just a newsletter or a one-off event. True community work is deeper, slower, and braver. It means listening before speaking. Our parents help shape our decisions, from choosing our uniform to planning Refugee Week. Being relentlessly welcoming, from the reception desk to our chaplain's quiet presence. Visitors are greeted with warmth, not bureaucracy. Bridging the gaps. We act as translators, sometimes literally, between families and the system that affects them. Schools, social care, health, housing. And we learn alongside each other. We don't just come with the answers. We come with curiosity. One parent said it best during our School of Sanctuary visit. This is a safe place. Teachers are our heroes. Let me be clear though, this isn't soft work. It's not just smiles and samosas, it's structure, stamina and strategy. To become a true community school, you have to invest in a pastoral team that goes beyond box-ticking support. You have to design a curriculum that reflects and respects the children's lived experiences, ones in the names of Windrush, migration and injustice. You have to hold time for restorative conversations where children reflect on their behaviour, listen to others and take ownership of their own actions. You have to build partnerships, churches, charities, social workers, mental health services, because schools cannot do it all alone. And above all, you need a staff team who believe that the work of education is not just cognitive, but relational. As one of our teachers once said, we don't just teach children, we stand beside families and we grow with them. So let's say something bold. Schools are some of the last truly public institutions left standing. Post offices are closing, libraries are underfunded, youth centres are disappearing. But schools remain. That means we have a responsibility and a possibility. What if schools became the anchor institutions they already have the potential to be? Places where parents find job support, not just newsletters. Spaces where children feel emotionally safe enough to learn. Buildings open for community events, learning and joy. Hubs that model what shared life looks like across culture, faith and background. At St Stephen's, we've worked with Shine, our church's award-winning community charity, health practitioners, children's social services, to co-deliver support. That for us is not extra work, that's essential work. As you listen to this, maybe you're nodding, or maybe you're wondering, could this work in my school? Here are some questions I invite you to sit with. Is your school in the community or of it? Who decides what community engagement looks like, staff or families? What spaces in your school could become gathering places? And do families see your school as somewhere they belong or somewhere they visit? If we truly want our children to thrive, we must root schools in the soils of their community. When school prioritise belonging, you don't just see it, you feel it. You feel it in the child who writes a peace promise and walks to City Hall. The parent who, after joining a coffee morning, said, "I'm not scared to speak English anymore." The shared celebrations of Eid, Diwali, Christmas and more, not tokenistic, but joyful, respected and collective. The buddy system that trains pupils to be emotional learners and playground peacekeepers. And you see it in the outcomes: improved attendance, reduced exclusions, and yes, academic progress. Because children who feel safe, seen and supported will rise. Thank you for listening to this podcast. Please do comment, share and subscribe to keep this conversation going. Until next time, thank you and goodbye.